You're listening to an ATYL Media production.
Yo, welcome into Nitro Nation 4WOD Nationals recap. Got to admit, I'm not going to be very helpful tonight because I was in Talladega all weekend, drove back last night, have not really got to catch up, but happy host of our day. I did go to Chili's today, got me a triple dipper at the Chili's for sure. But special guest tonight, Mr. Adam Lucas from ATYL. He was on scene in Charlotte, going to come give us a breakdown and kind of fill in for my absence a little bit this week. He's got all the stuff that went down. Adam, thanks for coming out tonight, man.
Pleasure to be on the show. As everybody else was riding the Dente, I was riding a nitromethane candle.
Well, you had more horsepower in 4 lanes than 38 cars did at Talladega. So that is quite the ride. Almost 50,000 horsepower. What's that feel like, man?
It's so hard to describe. I'll try to break it down. I'll try to break it down like a little kid. You're standing, it doesn't matter where you're standing. If you're within walking distance of a drag strip, if you're within a quarter mile, you're going to feel the vibrations from your hair follicles down to your toenails and everything in between.
Yeah.
You're going to vibrate, you're going to shake, you're going to rattle, you're going to have a hell of a time. Between the force of the cars to the smell, the sights, the scene, it's just really, really awesome. Really awesome.
You got to be there.
Yes. If you have an event or a drag strip close to you, you need to go check it out. It doesn't have to just be NHRA. Go out, support your local drag strips. Lord knows everyone needs help in this day and age. It's definitely intoxicating and definitely addictive. Like last year was the first time I'd ever been to a drag race. Sure enough, it was the 4 wides. I'm hooked. I've been hooked now for a solid calendar year, and I will never not like or love drag racing.
Adam, I peep your fresh Maddie Gordon Ron Caps merch behind you, so I believe you.
Oh, we do see that. See that.
I kind of changed up the room. I had to cover some of my Gordon stuff. So, yeah.
Period. Look at all those Nitro Nation guests back there.
Look at that. I like it.
Yeah,
awesome.
We were able to acquire some things this season. And yeah, let me tell you, Ron Caps Motorsports, A+ production. We had a lot of fun with them this weekend, from content standpoints to editorials to kind of getting a little behind the scenes look at their, a typical race day for them. It was top notch. Ron, super awesome guy. Maybe we can get him on the show one day. That would be fantastic. But no, he's all around great guy, salt of the earth, real racer's racer.
So what was your favorite part of the weekend?
My personal favorite, was Friday night qualifying, seeing Nitro under the lights. It was my first opportunity to be a photographer for a NHRA event. And I got to stand 220 feet down from the starting line next to the wall in lane 1.
And he got amazing pictures. Amazing.
Within 6 feet of me, they were lighting the nitro candles and flying by me. I've been telling people since that night, I used to fear death. I do not anymore. I fear those cars. Those things are terrifying when they're whizzing by you.
Yeah.
At 220, so they're what, two? Where are they in the 8th mile now? 270. So at 220 feet, they're probably running 180 mile an hour right
All
there.
I know is
there's somewhere running there.
I had about 1 second to prepare my body, because as soon as they would whiz by my peripheral, the boom and boom of the exhaust pipes would hit my body.
Yeah.
I always equate it to taking all your senses and just mix them up real quick. Like your sight goes to your smell, and your smell goes to your sight. And just, I don't know what's going on.
Probably the craziest thing of note, too, is last year, the nitromethane really was messing with my senses, either from my nose, my eyes, whole body, face was going numb. This year, none of it. Only one time did it really affect me, and it was because They had fired up a car in the pits, and I was standing right by it, and I got hit with the first cloud. But other than that, all your senses will be on overload.
Yes, that when you're there with a fresh startup, that raw fuel that comes out of the pipes, like when you first get that, that's like, ooh, that one stings just a little bit.
The first one is the worst one, but after that, it gets easier.
Yeah.
So you talked about Caps earlier. So Caps coming 2 wins in a row now, and Guido absolutely just continuing to throw down. What was the atmosphere over there in the Caps pit? I mean, with all of Maddie's momentum and Caps coming off win, it had to be electric over there.
They're the target right now in the funny car division. They are putting in some great packages, not just for qualifying, but through all the rounds. Now, granted, very close with a lot of the eliminations on Sunday, but just enough to get to that final round. That's all that matters. What really stood out to me is not just the actual driving, but the entire preparation from tear down, breakdown to rebuild to hanging out with the fans, doing meet and greets, and then going back and checking on the cars. It's not just the drivers. The drivers aren't just, a driver being a prima donna. Oh, I just drive the car. I'm not going to do this. No, they're like engaging with people. They're engaging with the team, either talking about what might need to be tweaked, what might need just a little this or that, just to help with maybe some performance down the track, making the runs. Everything was basically perfect. You can't have a perfect run. You can have near perfect run. We talked a lot about this, me and Dom Joseph. What it all takes to have a perfect run, because you cannot mess up any of the steps. You mess up one step, you're not going to make it through a round. And with it being a 4 wide, the pressure is even higher. You have less chances to make it. But what really, really stood out was just that team camaraderie that Ron Capps Motorsports has from their funny car and their top fuel dragster.
And can I ask, we've had Maddie on the show, right? And we've all kind of linked up as a group here and somehow with them if possible. With meeting Maddie in person, what have you learned about her that you didn't know before this weekend? What are your thoughts on her as the star that she is?
The virgin tequila shot that they do.
Yeah.
That was
I liked that a lot.
That was the best tidbit that I learned from her. And just that she is truly just that's her. The person you see on TV is the person you see off TV, interacting with fans, even interacting with media. Open, just bubbly, but also like a certified badass.
Yeah, I found her a bit not in a bad way, but a bit intimidating. Like, you got this little ball of energy, and she's just rowdy as can be, and it's like, wow, this girl is on it. Like, she was almost, I mean, not in a bad way, but almost intimidating. Like, man, she is already wired for sound and like doing all this so well and so young into her career. It's awesome.
Yeah, she is phenomenal. She has a huge future ahead of her. Definitely, once things click perfectly for her and she gets her first win under her belt, I really think that is just the start of something that it could be magical. She easily could beat Brittany with the wins record.
Oh yeah. They found the right combination there with that team. It's going to be danger, which they're pretty close now.
Yeah.
Jordan, what did you have from the 4 wides?
Oh, I know we already got into it before we got a little live, but the drama is what got me. Listen, I'm like a reality TV junkie, so I love when we get those curveballs, even though I'm sure the teams don't love it. It is just nice to see, like, we have had so many people on, and including ourselves, have commended Safety Safari in the last couple of weeks for how incredible of a job they're doing. They did a great job this weekend too, but just to see their reactions to things like weather changes, to things like drivers hitting the wall. We had plenty of that this weekend. We had drivers going off the top end. It was incredible to see how it took them. I think I saw somebody post on Twitter, and I'm sorry I didn't see it. It took them like an hour, I think it was, for them to clean up a situation that with rain as well that easily could have taken multiple hours, or so the drama is what got me, right? So a couple of notable ones. Dave Richards not making it into the next round, even though he technically was there because he hit the wall, and that was in the semifinals, right?
Yes, and that was almost the underdog story of the weekend, was just how much power
Yes.
and how much luck that they had. Unfortunately, it ran out in his final run. But yeah, that was a very interesting semifinal.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alex Laughlin in the pro mod class had, I think it was no shoots, and he tried his best, but he ended up tapping the wall with his wheelie bars and going into Sunday still being able to race. But very dramatic moment for him. We had JR Todd in the semifinals going into the sand at the end with another no shoot situation. So a lot of things. Sean Langdon, we talked about the top alcohol, funny cars being in the staging beams and rain hit. Incredible timing and reaction there by like the race master. It was great. I liked watching it all. It was interesting. And the call with the Tony Schumacher's car, it was a lot, but it was good. It was good. I think they all made good decisions this weekend. I think everybody made decisions that was safest for everybody, which I think is really important. So it was nice to watch as a fan from my tablet, not in person like Adam.
Interesting about J.R. Todd's situation, because he was talking about their shoot technology
Yeah.
and them doing different shoots, and I wonder if that
Yes.
would be tied into it at all. Interesting.
It looked like nothing came out. So not like they didn't blossom, not like they got stuck. It looked like it, and maybe I caught it wrong, but it looked like literally nothing came out at all. So maybe a line got disconnected. Are those, I don't know if those are like, I don't know if they're called pneumatic or whatever, like air powered ones, so that they come out from the back of the car and can blossom. Like in my car, I don't need that because I'm not going fast enough. I don't have a body. But for other cars like that, sometimes they have to have them like spring out more than like a spring action would so that it can catch. So maybe, I don't know. It just seemed like something technically went wrong because there was no shoot at all.
Yeah, there was no deployment or any sign of that it actually activated in any way.
That's gotta be a scary feeling.
Tore up a body, though. That body got kind of chewed in the sand trap.
He did a great job driving that, though. I mean, he kept it flat. He was able to still use the chassis. It was a good job.
I will say I'll add to the Ron Capps Motorsports lore. They had mentioned that when they saw that had happened, they were like Ron was one of the first guys over to their garage to say, "Hey, do you guys need anything? What can we help you with to get you guys to the grid?" That right there, that's like almost unheard of in my world of stock car racing, unless it's a teammate. You don't really see that camaraderie between the teams and competitors. So like the amount of respect that each team and each driver have in NHRA, it's incredible.
Well, since we're kind of talking a little bit about funny car, I got one of my talking points is when is it time for panic in the proc camp? Not to throw shade or anything, but there's got to be a time when you got to look at that panic button a little bit. I mean, there's not a lot of results, not a lot of runs being made.
Yeah. I'd love to get a glimpse behind the scenes. Obviously, we will not, and that's not our business, right? But because they are laying down good half track or eighth mile passes and then smoking the tires, or the car is shutting off. Like they had the pass, I think it was in Pomona, where the safety cutoff just went off for no reason. And he was on a run that presumably could have been a full pull. And, so far this last weekend, he'd do 330 half track, smoke the tires. Almost eighth mile, even 600 feet, smoke the tires. It's like, what is happening that we're not able to fulfill the rest of it? Because you've got a great reaction time and you have a great first half. So it's just that last half that isn't successful for them.
It's almost like the car has too much power. It's almost like they are over tuning it, which that just even saying that, that's insane. If they can actually find the right combination, it could be dangerous for the rest
Yeah.
of the competition.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sneaking up on that combination is
Yeah.
it's starting to eat into an insurmountable overcome of, you know, points wise too. Like I don't know when it's time to, if I'm over there, it's like, golly, what's going on?
Yeah.
Almost a hot take right here. I think this week, with it being the first back-to-back, I think if they do not click at South Georgia, they might just be trying to just R&D the rest of this season, just trying to, you know, at least make it down
Yeah.
the field without even worrying about points at this point. Just trying to get that complete
Which I feel
package
like makes
figured.
sense. I feel like that's a reasonable move to make if that's what happens. I mean, South Georgia Motorsports Park is where we're headed next, right?
Yes.
So how not a lot of teams have been there for anything, let alone nitro cars. This is going to
It's gonna
be
be
new
hot.
grounds for everybody. That too. So like it is going to test teams like his severely, I think.
Yeah.
But there again, maybe with a lot of people not having too much data there, maybe that plays into their favor, because it seems to
Yeah.
be the tracks, you know, that they're just struggling, man. I don't know, struggling. It's
Yeah.
tough to see. It's really tough to see, because I know the competitor that the Procs are, and I've been a Jimmy Proc fan for God as long as I can remember. But it's tough to see. I would be nervous, cautiously
Yeah.
nervous, I guess.
I loved Jack Beckman's sentiment about them that got posted. I think it was last weekend at Pomona. It wasn't this weekend, but
Yep.
you know, and even Austin has said it that his dad has moved to other teams, and it takes him a couple of races to figure it out. And then they get it, and then like you said, they are like someone that they need to keep their eye on, and someone that's, you know, a troublemaker. So I hope that's how it happens. That's how they predict it's going to happen. Maybe this is the weekend, like you said, with everybody having not have experience here. Maybe this is the one. Who knows?
Hopefully so. What about Matt Hartford? 2 wins this year.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? I mean, I know he's been competitive, don't get me wrong, but golly, that was a daunting final round that he was up against. That was no joke.
When Dallas Glenn didn't make it, I looked over to Taylor and Dom and said, "Oh boy, this could be interesting between Anderson and Hartfield." Sure enough,
Right.
it sure was.
Yeah, he's getting it done. Small team. I
Yeah.
think he's got like 4 people that works for him. Might have to
Isn't
give him
he powered by KB?
there's
Like same power plants that Greg Anderson is using?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that could explain probably why they met each other in the final.
But he did
But
say
not to take away from his driving job.
no, but he did say in Gainesville that they don't send a tuner with it. They just get the motor. They do their own tune.
Okay.
KB doesn't tell them, you know, what they got to run or anything, like, so they just it's just a motor lease, but it's not a tuner
The
lease.
power
So,
plant.
yeah.
Sure.
So but it does help to have the power. Don't get me wrong.
That's
It
right.
does,
The
does
power
help.
that's
That does not
leading
hurt.
that class this year so far, for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. What was the track template like out there? Was it
So that honestly could be another major storyline of the weekend. Is we had a little bit of everything. Friday afternoon was hot, pretty hot, substantially hot, and it really didn't cool down for when the lights came on with night qualifying. Saturday, it was still pretty warm, pretty, you know, dodging a little bit of weather here and there. Thankfully, we made it out with no weather, unless you were in top alcohol, obviously. And then Sunday, it was chilly, overcast with a few sprinkles, and then the sun came out for semifinals. So we had a little bit of everything playing factor. As a matter of fact, I think that's really what happened on Richard's run. Is he hit a wind gust, which sent him over the line.
really?
It was really gusty on that run. So I don't know if you noticed too, with like even Hagen's run, he almost crossed the line. He he crossed the line before crossing the finish line. Right before he crossed the finish line. It was close. He almost didn't make it, but he obviously did and made it to the final round. But yeah, no, the wind was playing some havoc in on Sunday.
Did we have any issues with the Christmas tree? Before, guys having trouble staging because they're not sure which tree to look at. Any issues like that this time around?
No, this year, even with having so many first timers for a 4-wide, it was a non-factor. The 5-cent light bulbs were all operating perfectly.
Nice. That's good.
I think the drivers had more issues with their cars on the starting line and the weather than they did with themselves.
Because every run,
although I will
you had
say,
to change.
our friend Ida, she's made a comment about how she maybe had some difficulty or was slightly confused on her Instagram with the staging or in an interview, and that she noted that the car that she's driving for Sean Reed is not fit for her. That it's completely different and she's still learning. And I remember her kind of like noting an apology to the people she had to run if she confused them. And then she put on her Instagram story this morning that she got a seat poured today, so that whenever she's out next, she'll hopefully be more comfortable. But I didn't notice like any like flickering or anything weird.
I think it might have just been the driver comfortability within the cockpit.
Yeah.
If you're getting a new seat poured this week, that had to have been a huge factor for line of sight.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it was almost uncharacteristic to see her. She struggled.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I'll be anxious to see how she rebounds with a new seat fill.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gotta, the mental aspect of that's gotta be pretty taxing if you're not comfortable and you're trying to go 340 mile an hour. Like that's gotta be something in the back of your head.
And everybody, I think a lot of those cars like look the same. I mean, they all look the same, right? But whether it's a canopy car or not, they all look the same. So we don't expect it to be different. And I learned very quickly that there is a difference. A couple years ago, when Austin lost his ride with JFR, the dragster, and he was off, I think, for a year. And he filled in the seat for Clay Milliken when he had some medical issues and wasn't cleared. All of a sudden, he was at the track and they told him, yeah, drive my car. Well, Clay has like a different clutch, like an old school clutch system, which I don't know what that means, versus the new school. He would take a mirror out and like watch his tires as he would warm it up. Like he was very in tune with the actual driving portion of it, other than just being behind the wheel of it, if that makes sense. And that was a learning curve for Austin too, because he was not used to driving a car like that. So I don't know the interiors of these cars and how they work and the clutch and the brake, but it sounds like some people have some different systems that work better for them. And I think Ida's having a little bit of that learning curve from her last car into this one.
Funny you should mention Clay. During his Too Fast, Too Tasty post conference, he had admitted that he was kind of surprised he was able to get a win in the closed cockpit this soon. He did admit he is still learning the different sight lines, the different mechanics of within the cockpit, because he said it's completely different from what he has been driving. Obviously,
and what he hears.
Yeah, the sounds are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make a big difference is how much you could hear stuff. That would really wreak havoc.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
I get why they went for both drivers to have the canopy car. I think it makes sense. But gosh, both of those guys have been driving for an incredibly long time. I don't want to say longer than I've been alive, but it's longer than I've been alive. So if you think about it, that's got to be a massive, massive switch for him.
Heck, one of them I have a diecast right there. I have a
there you
2000
go.
Tony Schumacher.
Nice. Nice. That's a throwback.
For any of you Nitro Nation followers who haven't caught me on ATYL Live and the rest of the ATYL gang, we are all diecastaholics. We love collecting, obviously, diecast. This is Johnny Gray, obviously.
Yeah.
So this is one of my hobbies. I know it's a little different in the world of drag racing when it comes to collecting collectibles. This isn't like the go-to. However, in NASCAR, this is like, the ultimate type of thing. So I'm trying to.
Grail.
It is the holy grail. Not to get too sidetracked, but yeah.
No, I love it.
Hey, I love it. Hey, I love it, man. There is no
Look at me
track
looking
to
behind
get
me trying
sidetracked
to
off
find
of.
something that I can also say I have. I
mean,
don't.
I also got a Kenny Bernstein Bud King, and let's see, a John Force. I think that's a 97 Firebird, and then a Jim Dunn Racing Moon Eyes car as well.
You have like iconic
Kenji
liveries on
Okazaki?
all of those.
I like them.
Wasn't that Kenji that drove that Moon Eyes car? Kenji Okazaki?
Might have been, or
I think
what?
so.
This is gonna tell you how bad I am with names. A guy named Al
Hoffman?
It might have been him.
He drove a Western Auto car.
I know he has one of those too. I think this is like 2001 or 2002.
I only notably have a 2008
that's a little fun fact about me.
Erica Enders Hero card when she drove for Dodge still.
Nice.
That's all I have to share, really.
Nice.
And my dad actually went to the track without me one time, didn't tell me he was going, because in 2008 I was in middle school, I'm going to be real with you. And he knows that I would be mad, so he got me an NHRA teddy bear and then got this signed for me because he knows that I was like a massive Erica Enders fan to make it up to me. So thank you, Dad.
Nice.
Nice.
So Gaige Herrera found himself back in victory lane.
Yeah.
Richard Gadsden, another final round. Chase Van Zandt, red light. Man, the reaction times in the final round, like we were talking about, absolutely just blistering reaction times. That was razor thin. I'm going to give a huge shout out to Clayton Howie. He made it to the semifinals in Gainesville, finals here. What I guess second runner up, I guess is what it's called. But absolutely heck of a start to the season. I was talking to him earlier today, and just a really good start to the season. He's got some stuff he's putting together to come out to South Georgia. So hopefully he keeps his run going. That's good to see. I was glad for Clayton. Did you get to see much motorcycle stuff?
I did. Probably the biggest surprise was Matt Smith. That was tough. Hometown boy not being able to make it all the way. A big shocker for everyone in the media center. There was a collective gasp. Let's put it that way. Of wow,
yeah,
didn't make it. This is basically going to come down to Gadsden and Herrera. And sure enough, it kind of did.
Yeah, that collective gas. I remember that when it was in the tower in Gainesville when Proc didn't make that last shot, and that was a collective gas. I know what you're talking about. It's wild how the emotions in the tower are so fickle. Sometimes it's funny. But while I got the videos queued up of the final rounds, I was going to go through those real quick. Starting out with Pro Stock Motorcycle, let's take a look at it.
Gadsden will be last to stage, as so it appears. He's in. They leave. Howie's 10. Van Zandt was 003 red. It's going to come down to the two Vance and Hines machines. Finish line stripe. It is going to be Gaige Herrera for the 29th time in his career and the first time since Las Vegas of last year. A 675 defeats the 680 of Richard Gadsden. And Gaige Herrera, boy, what a one-race drought he was on, is back into the winner's circle.
Wild guy.
That was a great Pro Stock Motorcycle final. All the riders were all over the tree, including our winner, Gaige Herrera, 19 on the tree. Won 675 to pick up your first victory of the season. It only
What's
took
that?
You 2 races
the reaction times.
For us, that seems like a long time.
Oh, yeah, they were razor thin.
No, thank you very much. It's awesome to get one of these Diamond Wallies. Richard got one at Gainesville, and I wanted one for myself. So to get it here at the 4-wide, this race has always kind of been a little tough to me, the last couple years. So it's awesome to get the win here for the whole Revzilla, Suzuki, Vance & Hines, Motul team. And it's just saying Carlisle Tools. I mean, can't do any of this without all the people at the shop and all the people that help us back, in general. And I got to give a big shout out to my crew chief, Andrew Hines. He works his butt off, and this one's for him for sure.
So there you saw it. Gaige was 019 in the final and left last, but had that Vance and Hines power to get him through there. But Matt Hartford's interview at the top end is fun.
No one's in a hurry to go in. Cody Coughlin and everybody else runs in behind him. Latinos out early. It's going to be Coughlin. It's going to be Anderson. Here comes at the finish line Hartford. It is Matt Hartford. 6:52.6 beats a 6:52.9. And Hartford was the first guy out of the gate. And he is the first guy to win 2 races this season.
Matt Hartford picks up his 2nd victory of the year. And he does so on a hole shot here at the 4 Wide Nationals. As you can see,
I did not
this
see
dude
this.
is pretty
This is
pumped
awesome.
up. Matt, can I get you to come down here? We'll talk about that victory. You left
That
first,
is
and that made
hype,
all the
though.
difference. How pumped were you for that final?
I was
yeah.
pumped. I think we only had about 26 minutes to turn the car. So do the other guys. It's a thrash on these cars. You know, we got a small team, and Eddie and Amber and Adam, you know, myself. But we got it turned. We got up there, and but really hats off to everybody back at Total Seal, all the guys at Rottler, all the guys at Rob's, Capacity Trucking. Larry, Hose Connection, buddy. I know, Reagan, I know you're screaming right now, too. This, hey, we've got 2 of these now. Eddie said stack them up. We're starting.
Yeah, so they only had 26 minutes between final round.
Wow.
Between rounds there. That's not a lot of time to get everything cooled down and tuned back up and get the weather reading and everything. And that's tough. That's a good go at it. But yeah. Matt Hartford with 2 Wallies.
Wow.
And then I think I got funny car queued up. Caps. Here we go. Our buddy Caps.
Heat wave drone looking down. The Nitro Funny Car final in Charlotte. They leave Todd's car moving around his lane. He's got cylinders out. Finish line. What a charge by those 3. And once again, it's Ron Caps. 390 with a 5. 334.9 miles an hour. This car is the cream of the crop right now. Wow.
Yeah, Guido.
And Ron Capps is out of breath down here as he just took home the 4 Wide victory here in Charlotte. Ron, simply put, you had the best funny car all weekend. That says a lot about how tough the competition is here. You were #1 qualifier, you set low ET, and you won. Tell me about that outside lane now.
Well, Guido just said I needed to aim right, keep it outside the right groove. And listen, driving a funny car, you're hanging on for dear life. Sometimes you think you're driving it. Most of the time you're not. Somehow I did that today, and I don't know what happened. But Guido, our Napa Auto Care team, such a great job. Of course, we had a Kuma on the car, but Napa Premium Brake Boosters and MPA. We had a dinner last night. I said, man, every time you guys come on board, we got a good chance to win, and we've had a hell of a hot rod. So just so proud. Carlisle Tools, you know, gosh, my mom at home, but my wife didn't get to make the trip. She's a little under the weather. And I don't think I've ever given her one, Bruno. Like, actually, we always share. We're 34 years married, so, honey, this one's actually going for right to your side of the bed. How's that?
Drench Wally, Drench Wally.
So
What a guy.
So yeah. So Caps 2 in a row, man, they're hot.
Not 2 in a row. He has 2 this season.
He ran lane 4.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Run. Every run.
He ran. That's right. It wasn't 2 in a row, 2 into the season. You're right. My bad.
No,
My bad.
you're good. You're good. You're good. I like this 4 Wide that we're looking at on our screen right now. Those, I won't exclude Jack Beckman, but the 3 people that I think I would be terrified most of if I had any skin in the funny car game would be Ron Cabs, J.R. Tard, and Matt Hagan. Like, Matt came on the show and explicitly was like, I love running cabs. We have a great, like, matchup, you know, like 1-for-1 kind of score. And I think we're going to see it a ton more this year.
I agree. Let's take a look at the Top Fuel final.
The final round of Top Fuel at the 4 Wide Nationals. Immediate smoke for Stewart. It's a 3-horse race to the finish line. Who's going to get there first? The win light for Doug Kalitta. 369.2. 342.98. Look at this speed. Almost 343 miles an hour for Doug Kalitta. A new track record and one of the fastest runs in history.
Thanks to a huge speed of 342.98 miles an hour. New track record, the 3rd fastest speed ever in the history of the NHRA. Doug Kalitta is the first driver to pick up 2 victories this season. You won the Charlotte 4 Wide Nationals, Doug. What do you got to say?
Yeah, that's incredible. You know, it's chaotic. It's everything I think the fans love. So, yeah, this is definitely going to Connie's house. You didn't make it this weekend, so but yeah, hopefully be back out next couple of races. But yeah, no, it's Ellen Johnson, man. He's the man, and I'm just very fortunate to have him and all the Mac Tools guys working on this thing. It's really a hell of an opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I think we know that the Kalitta teams are on an insane run right now for all of their
That's
teams, right?
exactly what I was about to
But
say. They're on it, man.
listen, Leah has to have one in the pipeline, like, soon. How many finals has she
They're
been
on
in
it
this
too.
year already? Like, I am, like, biting my nails watching her because I'm like, this is it, right? Like, she's locked in mentally, everything. I can just, like, we can see it. So I'm like, she's got it. And then now I'm like, oh my God, these Kalitta boys, they're crazy.
Yeah, they're good.
342.98 miles per hour. And what's even crazier is Sean could have either equaled that or surpassed it had the underbody not fallen out on the car.
Did that happen in the last pass?
It did.
No
Yeah,
way.
there was something that fell out from underneath his car, almost to the finish line. Not a lot of people caught it, but I was like, wait a minute, something just fell out. It's that underbody paneling or something. Yeah, it was wild. But the Kalitta cars are definitely they're the target right now. Everyone else is just playing for getting to the table.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Everybody's running for second place, it seems like. But well, Adam, thank you very much for coming to join us. Jordan, do you have anything else from the four wides?
No, not from the four wides. I think I am looking forward incredibly to the Southern Nationals at South Georgia Motorsports Park. I've been there myself, so I know what the track is like, and I'm very excited to see how this all goes down and to see what we can talk about next week. I think it's going to be good.
Absolutely. Adam, again, thank you for your time, bud.
Absolutely.
We greatly appreciate it.
Love coming on with you guys. Love talking a little drag racing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend as well. It's the first back-to-back for NHRA this season. Quick turnaround time for the teams. Hopefully the wildfires will stay far enough away from the track. I know that there was a lot of discussion going on in the media center over the weekend about, hey, are we actually going or not? And so far, it's systems go. So fingers crossed, keep your toes crossed, whatever you got, that the fires stay away and the smoke stays low.
I didn't know that was even going on.
Yeah, when we have the northern winds, I can smell it here in Sanford. We could smell it the other day. I walked outside. I was like, what the hell is burning?
Wow.
And then I got on social media and it was like, Gainesville is burning. I was like, oh, well, shit. Okay, there you go.
Wow.
But yeah.
I had no idea.
The wildfires going on up there. Yep. It's not good.
So yeah, weather and Mother Nature could be a factor this weekend. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. I heard that. Well, for everybody here at ATYL, Miss Taylor Kitchen, Miss Jordan Wick, Mr. Adam Lukes, thank you for coming and joining us tonight. We appreciate everybody for tuning in here to Nitro Nation. We'll be back at you next week covering the South Georgia Motorsports Park Southern Nationals.
That's right.
You guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to get out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.